It's humbling to think that Marcus Aurelius, the head of the most powerful empire on earth, had the same amount of hours in the day as you. Just 24. So how did he get it all done? How did he have time to be a king, a philosopher, a writer, a husband, to pass laws and judge cases, to lead troops into battle and guide Rome through a terrible plague, and do this while remaining good, without being corrupted by the temptations or the stresses of his position? Well, routine had something to do with it. Marcus Aurelius was a man of habit. All the Stoics were. They understood, as Aristotle did, that we are what we repeatedly do, that excellence is a habit. For Marcus Aurelius, the day started early. At dawn, when you awake, he wrote, know that you are getting up to do the work of a human being. There was no time for him to stay under the covers and stay warm. It was in the early morning, we think, that Marcus did his journaling. He would spend a few minutes with the blank page, writing down his thoughts, clearing his mind, reminding himself of what was important. Next, he prepared himself for the day to come. The people you will meet today, he said, will be ungrateful and mean and short-sighted and frustrating. But Marcus knew that he could not let these people implicate him in their ugliness. He had to stick to what he knew was right. It was likely that Marcus Aurelius tackled his most important tasks first. He didn't believe in procrastination, and he wanted to start things when he was still fresh. Concentrate on what's in front of you like a Roman, he said. Do it like it's the last and most important thing in your life. From his stepfather, Antoninus, Marcus had learned how to work long hours, how to stay in the saddle. He writes in Meditations that he even admired how Antoninus scheduled his bathroom breaks so that he could work for long, uninterrupted periods. Marcus didn't shirk hard work. He did his duty, and he didn't whine about it. Never be overheard complaining, he wrote, not even to yourself. But what about stress? Marcus Aurelius processed his stress by getting active. He regularly carved out time to hunt or ride on horseback. There are too many wrestling and boxing metaphors in Meditations for him not to have trained and regularly practiced these sports. As a Roman, he also would have regularly frequented the baths. Some of these baths in Budapest, for instance, still exist. You can sit in the same hot and cold thermal pools that Marcus would have used to wash away the dust of earthly life, as he put it. You can see why this would have been such an important part of his daily routine, getting clean, having some quiet, stepping away from his work for a minute, invigorating the body with hot and cold, and maybe even a massage. Nearly a dozen times in Meditations, Marcus Aurelius talks about seeking and achieving stillness. Those moments of quiet would have been essential too. Without quiet, we can't think, we can't clear our minds, we can't get the big picture, we can't be philosophical. But what about food? We get the sense that Marcus was someone who ate to live rather than someone who lived to eat. He ate healthily and quickly. He didn't indulge himself in rich foods, and he didn't care about fancy wine or gourmet cooks. Food was fuel. He got it and moved on. When did Marcus do his reading? We don't know, but clearly books were a huge part of his life, as they would have been for any smart person. Marcus knew that he had to read in order to lead, and he was always studying to get better. He preferred books to breaking news and gossip, looking always for the historical perspective. And then when the day came to a close, it was time to be around family. Marcus clearly loved his children and his wife. Even though he was important and famous and busy, he didn't ignore them. We know that he liked to tuck his children into bed at night, and indeed the final and most philosophical part of his routine came as he put them to sleep. Kissing his children, he would say quietly to himself, "Don't rush this. This might be the last time you do this. It's not a guarantee that either of you will make it through the night." So Marcus Aurelius drank this small moment in. He was present. He loved them. He cherished this person in front of him, which really was the most important thing in his life. And then he said good night. Soon after, Marcus went to bed himself and started the whole process over again. for as long as he was fortunate enough to live. And so we must do the same. We are what we repeatedly do. So let's live well and practice good habits like Marcus today and every day.
Epictetus famously said, you've got to decide who you want to be and do that work. Well, habits are part of that. What are the systems? What are the principles? What are the things that you do every day as part of your routine? That's how you become the person that you want to be. That's how you write a best-selling book. That's how you build a business. That's how you build a brand. That's how you master any skill or subject or industry. And so the Stoics have a lot to teach us about habits, habit formation, about abandoning bad habits, and that's what we're going to focus on in this challenge. It's the Daily Stoic Habits for Happiness, Habits for Success Challenge. It's awesome. It's our longest, most aggressive, most challenging challenge yet, but I think you're up for it. I encourage you to check it out. I invite you to join us, dailystoic.com/habits. Hey, thanks for watching Daily Stoic. If you want to learn more about Stoicism, you can check out some of our other videos here. Subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Keep learning, keep studying, and remember those 4 Stoic virtues: courage, justice, temperance, and wisdom.